This week on Previews World Weekly, Robert Kirkman steals our childhood, Alex Ross unveils a new Marvel project, and we unpack whether or not fan speculation ruins your enjoyment of something. It's all happening right now on Previews World Weekly.
What's up, Previews World? It's Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Day, which means it's time for Previews World Weekly. I'm one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
Yep, I'm your other host, Ashton Greenwood, aka. It lagged on my end. I was like, "Yup, that's Troy." All right, keep it pushing.
Gotcha. Go for it.
I'm your other host, Ashton Greenwood, aka Queen of Disruptions, aka the Duchess of Free Comic Book Day. There was a Free Comic Book Day announcement yesterday, you guys.
There was.
Did you get to see this, Troy?
I did see it. I definitely said I retweeted it and I shared it, as everyone who's watching this right now should do as well. But yes, what can you tell us about Free Comic Book Day?
Yeah, so yesterday we announced the lineup of gold titles that'll be available at your local comic shop. So these are the titles that you are most likely to see at a participating comic shop. They represent kind of the most well-known of the books in terms of the licenses that they represent. So we announced 12 of the books yesterday. Sorry, 11. 11 of the books yesterday. And it's a really exciting lineup. Archie, of course, but there's also a Marvel book. There's TMNT. Trying to think of the others. Buffy. It's a really exciting lineup of books that hits kind of everything.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm so excited about this Captain Underpants book. Really quick, I have to say this. I'm a big kid. I read Captain Underpants when I was in elementary school, so I'm so excited to see this.
Okay, nice. I, only recently graduated to Captain Underpants because, it definitely passed me by when I was younger. But I've gotten with it recently, so.
Fair enough. I respect that. So if you want to see the full list and kind of read a synopsis, see what each book is about, this article is up on the Free Comic Book Day website right now. It's right on our homepage. You'll see it as soon as you get there. And so you can click through, look at the cover art, whatever. And then tomorrow we'll be announcing the full lineup. We have 46 books, so we got 35 more coming your way, and we'll be announcing that tomorrow. So you're going to want to keep your eyes peeled on the Free Comic Book Day website and the Free Comic Book Day social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I got you.
Absolutely. Hey, look, they've been asking for it and they got it. So there you go, guys. That's the big major announcement for you guys. You got to lay low until May 2022, but at least we got something to show you and something to look forward to. So that's cool. You know what? Let's introduce this week's guest. How about that?
I'm ready.
All right. I love the enthusiasm. Coming in strong, Kanan Doll X, aka Natasha. What's up, Natasha?
Hi. What's up, everybody? Thanks for having me.
So I've been seeing lately, coming in strong. Well, I've been seeing you on the DST feed lately, the Diamond Select Toys feed lately. What's that about?
Yeah, well, I got a brand new show called DST Unboxed, and I show awesome toys and collectibles from Diamond Select Toys and Gentle Giant. So pretty exciting. We kind of get a little unboxing fun happening, and then also take a deeper look. I give you some 360s so you can see close up, and then details about it, and then where you can find them. So it's pretty cool. I've gotten to see some amazing figures that I really should start just bringing a suitcase and just walking out and stuff. I mean, no, they're really cool items. That one in particular was designed by Joe Mena. That is the Boba Fett from Return of the Jedi. And
that's really nice.
Oh my goodness, the attention to detail on it, the weathering, all the little pieces on there are just outstanding.
Oh, look at that. I love the smoke.
Beautiful. It looks like, I mean, I took a picture of it and you would have thought that I actually just screen grabbed. It looks so on point. Yeah.
Nice. Straight out of Cloud City. I love it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That is very cool.
But yeah, so it's a new show. Episodes air weekly on Wednesdays. They come out on Diamond Select Toys, their YouTube channel. So it's just youtube.com/collectdst, and you can find them all there.
Cool. And actually, we're going to see about getting some of those videos on our end too. Not all of them, but just to lead people back to Diamond Select Toys and create a nice little family, because we are a family after all. We're all under the same umbrella, all right?
And you're not going to be disappointed.
I love how wholesome that was.
Yeah.
And
you're not, I mean, even if you're not a fan of anything that I have on the show, if you are a collector, you're gonna love all the pieces regardless, because like everything that we have on there is just top notch. Whether it's a PVC diorama or a resin statue that's limited, like all of them are gorgeous. The episode that came out today was the Nightcrawler from Scotty Young. And he was like this big, and it was just, the paint applications is gorgeous. I mean, it's just, they're just awesome pieces. I'm really excited to let everybody know about them.
No, that's awesome. And I believe me, guys, Natasha's the right person for this. Like, she gets super excited, and you know, I don't know how you keep your hands from shaking every time you open the box, because I know how excited you get about stuff like this.
I do. Luckily, we do get to edit the videos, so they're not
live. Well, you know what? This video is unedited, so we're gonna try our best.
Yes.
But you know what, Ashton and I always kind of just stumble along, and you know what? We do all right, I think, week in and week out.
You guys do great. You guys, I love being on. I love anytime you guys have me being a guest on the show. It's always a great time. So thank you.
Yay.
There you go. So actually, since you are the guest on the show, why don't we dive into what's at comic shops, and we're going to talk about what our picks are, including yours, Natasha. So it is New Comic Book Wednesday, but it's also New Toy Wednesday as well.
It is. That's right.
It is. So let's do it. New releases. Let's go. All right. 1, 2, 3. Not it.
Not it.
Oh.
Rookie move, Natasha. Rookie move.
I have 3 kids, and one of them is teething. I'm not even awake right now.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
Okay, fine. Yep. It'll be my pick, and as always, it's going to be a toy pick.
Oh, here's a shot.
I'm going with the Buffy the Vampire Slayer Angel figure. It's a PVC statue from DST. Super awesome. Last time I was on the show, I picked Buffy, so I figured it was only, perfect to go ahead and pick Angel here. Great. These are if you do not know about the DST PVC statues, you are missing out if you're a collector. These pieces are affordable, and where they might skimp on the price, they do not skimp on the detail, on the whole aesthetic of them. They are gorgeous pieces, and they're PVC, so they're very light. They're durable. They're just awesome pieces, and oftentimes they're like about a decent size, so like you can put them on a shelf, you can put them on your desk, totally accessible. And so this Angel piece is awesome. I'm still mad about the alleyway, but this awesome statue, this diorama is fantastic. So that is my pick for this week's releases.
All right. This way, we did do an episode where you talked about the season finale, the series finale of Angel in that alleyway, didn't you? That's right. Yeah. I forgot we did talk about that. Still bitter. Well, actually, you know what? Actually, I do want to mention one thing I did notice on the Free Comic Book Day rundown, speaking of Buffy and Angel, is that it's been 25 years since Buffy debuted, which I hate that I know this, but at the same time, I think it's actually pretty cool.
They did put together that cover with a giant 25 right on the front.
They did. And I felt that in my soul, because I definitely was in high school when Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Yeah, Natasha can sympathize. I know you can.
Yep, so. I really wanted to dress like Buffy. I mean, some of the outfits, not all the outfits. Definitely, like I used to do the butterfly clips at one point. Like, the 90s.
Straight out of the 90s.
Oh, the
90s. With that segue, actually, Ashton, I guess you might as well go next. What is your pick this week?
Okay, I'm not really sure what the segue was, but I'll go.
Yeah, it's just that you're the Duchess of Free Comic Book Day. I don't know where I was going with that either.
Oh, okay, great. Got it.
You're in the middle. You're in the middle. You're that way. You're in the middle, so you're next. So go this way, this way, this way.
Gotcha. Backwards chronological order. Understood.
Yes.
Okay. My pick this week is A Man's Skin from Ablaze. And I have to tell you, this is one of those things that the cover art jumped out at me initially. And then when I read the synopsis and looked through the preview pages and saw what it was about, I was immediately like, I need this. This is such a brilliant idea, brilliant story idea. So it's set in Renaissance era Italy, and it focuses on a young woman named Bianca who has just become of marrying age. So her parents set her up with, like a nice young guy. His name's Giovanni, and he's rich, which you always want. And he's nice enough. But Bianca's upset because she doesn't know anything about him, right? And she's kind of grappling with this idea of arranged marriages, and she doesn't like the idea that she's being married off of someone. She has no idea who he is. So she stumbles upon this family secret that's been passed down through generations of women only within her family, and it's called a man's skin, hence the title. And basically what it is it allows you to don a man's skin, which is admittedly creepy, wearing like a literal skin suit. But so it allows you to wear a man's skin and take on a male persona and kind of move through the world as a man and experience it. And so Bianca does this, and she uses it as an opportunity to learn more about her fiance kind of incognito and see what he's like in his natural environment. Does he suck? Is he as polite as he comes across? Whatever. And so in the process of doing this, she kind of frees herself of the limitations that are imposed on women in that era. Remember, it's Renaissance era. So there are very specific expectations of women. And I'm really excited about this because it's going to ask a lot of important questions about, like, how much has our view on women's place in society and social relationships changed since Renaissance era Italy? Why should women be treated differently than men? Why does the freedom of women upset people, and so on and so forth? And so it's going to tackle all of these bigger themes, but do it as a fairy tale so it doesn't feel so heavy. And I think that's a great idea. And also the art reminds me a lot. I'm going on and on and on, but the art reminds me of like 90s animation. We have some preview pages up on PREVIEWsworld.com if you want to go flip through it. It's such a cool idea, and I'm really excited about it.
Well, Dave Brown has one thing to say to that. You.
I think it's more of a
right. Yeah. A little bit more Valley Girl in there. There you go. No, that is a cool concept. That actually is a really neat idea. And if this is the cover art similar to the interior art, or is there like a different? Is it different? Okay, yeah. Then that is actually kind of cool. I kind of like that. I dig that. It reminds me of oh god, what's that book of that movie Book of was it Book of Kellis? Book of Celts? I can't remember anymore. But yeah, that's actually pretty cool artwork. I dig that. My pick this week actually is The Thing #2 from Marvel Comics. So this is written by Walter Mosley, who's a famed crime novelist. He's known for the Easy Rawlins mysteries. They actually made a movie out of one of his books called Devil in the Blue Dress with Denzel Washington back in the 90s. And this is like his foray into the Marvel Universe, which is kind of neat. And it's just something about me kind of struck me. It just kind of looked like it was like a fun book, and it looked like it was really upbeat. And I also kind of felt like the combination of Walter Mosley and Tom Riley, who I've actually become a quick fan of over the last like 2 years, the artist, was a kind of a winning combination. And it's Thing has a new girlfriend, and he's dealing with supervillains while in his relationship with his new girlfriend. And of course, it goes from the streets of Yancey to the cosmos, right? Because it's a Fantastic Four story at the end of the day. And I just thought it was really cool. I'm kind of upset because I didn't get the Tom Riley cover for issue #1. But I think you guys should check it out. It's such a unique project. And I just can't look away at it. It's just neat. And Riley's art style has this texture to it that really just kind of feels old school. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Chris Samney, but also a little bit of like 60s Marvel comics too. So definitely check that out, especially if you're a Fantastic Four fan, but especially if you just want a fun superhero book. I think this is will fit the bill perfectly. All right, how about some more Natasha? But here's the great part. Here's the great part, Natasha. You don't have to do anything because you already did it.
Oh, yay!
So as we mentioned, it is not just New Comic Book Day. It is New Toy Day as well at your local comic shop. So here's Natasha with a rundown of all the toys, action figure, statues, and collectibles available at your local comic shop today. Check it out.
What's up, Previews
Nope, wrong one.
Nope,
That's
wrong
not me.
one. Pardon me.
That's
Hey,
not me.
producer Johnny here. So I had the wrong one.
Well,
We now resume our regularly scheduled program already in progress.
Hey everyone! First off, I just want to say happy 18th birthday to my daughter Sydney. And here is this week's rundown of some of the toys, statues, and collectibles hitting store shelves for the first time. Let's take a look inside the Previews toy chest for the week of December 15th, 2021. Be sure to check with your local comic shop for availability. And to see more, head over to PREVIEWsworld.com/toy-chest. There you'll feast your eyes on more hot new collectibles.
All right. And thank you, Natasha, in real life. Thank you, Natasha.
You're welcome.
Also, happy
it's
birthday to
true.
your daughter.
Yeah, she just turned 18.
That was
exciting.
Tuesday, right?
18. No, she
Okay,
actually
nice.
turned 18 on this Saturday.
Okay, nice, awesome,
Okay.
Last
awesome.
Saturday. Yep.
Shout out to Natasha because she always
18.
sneaks in a little message to her daughters in the
I
videos,
do.
which
I do.
I'm always like,
And now I have
go for it.
3.
You
Oh
do,
my
right?
God.
And
Yeah,
now I
yeah.
have 3. So just wait. In March, there'll be 2 of them.
That'd be cool. Oh, okay, it's 2 birthdays. Okay, all right, cool.
2
I'm down with
birthdays.
it.
Yeah. Beginning of the
Wow.
month and the end of the month.
Why the heck not? Why the heck not?
Right.
But yeah, you can catch Natasha's videos every Tuesday. She does previews toy chest, where she gives a rundown, of course, of all the new collectibles, et cetera, available at your local comic shop. And then Mia does what's at comic shops every Monday, and you can catch it on the PREVIEWsworld feed Monday and Tuesday. Just tune in, subscribe, like, and keep your eyes peeled.
And share with your friends.
And share
Don't
with your
forget that
friends.
one.
Very important.
Share with
Yes,
your friends.
absolutely. Sharing is caring.
Share with your enemies.
That too, right?
Share
Spite
with
them a
your
little bit.
enemies.
Out of spite.
Kill
Out
Show
of
one
them
spite.
what's
kindness.
new.
Right. Exactly. I like that actually. I'm gonna start saying that. Out of spite,
Yeah,
show them
yeah.
what's new.
Right.
Natasha, Jesus. Ashton, do you want to do? I'm sorry, my brain's so tired today. Do
We're
you want
doing
to
great.
do?
We're doing
We're doing
so
fine.
good today.
We're fine. Everything's fine. We're good. We're doing all right. Between the 3 of us, we make a whole host. So
One whole brain
Sure.
cell.
Sure we do.
You want to do news now, Ashton? You want to dive into some things that have been going on in the world of nerddom?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give it the old
All right.
college try.
All right. So far, we're betting like I want to say 40%. So we'll see how we get through. If we get through this, all right. Okay. All right. Here we go. News time.
Spider-Man, Far From News.
Okay.
How long were you thinking about that one, Johnny?
I literally just came up with it like 2 seconds ago.
All right.
You think I'd be ready by now for these?
Right.
Never
Years ago.
ready.
So
It's Johnny's
clever.
moment, and he always succeeds. I love it.
Those
Totally
young
succeeds.
times.
Dave Brown back in. He's saying we're doing great. No worries. All right. Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks,
We appreciate
Dave.
it.
Cheeks hurt.
Needed that reassurance.
All right. So what do we got in the news, Ashton? What's going
All right.
on?
So Saga creators have been talking to our friends at Entertainment Weekly, which is pretty cool. So
Mm.
following their 3-year hiatus, their 3-year hiatus, which started in 2018. At the time, Fiona Staples had spoken to Entertainment Weekly, and she told them that Saga's plot building to this climax happens to coincide with my own feelings of mild burnout. So it felt necessary to take a step back and let the book and ourselves breathe for a bit. So it only kind of makes sense that doing their first interview, coming back to Saga with Saga returning next month, that they would go to Entertainment Weekly, talk to Christian Holub, and they've done this fantastic exclusive interview, where they really dive into the meat of this story and kind of talk about, the cost of violence, killing off beloved characters, how they build a character, how they make the decisions about what this world looks like. And it's really, really interesting. It's a very comprehensive interview. So if you have the time, I definitely recommend digging into that.
Yeah, absolutely. Very cool. There was a point there where I was like, will they return? I wasn't sure.
I think a lot of people had that moment where they were like, is that just it? Like they're just going to murder all of these beloved characters and peace out.
Right. But to their credit, they're coming back and they're swinging strong. So I'm with it. Whatever. What else have we got in the news here? Let's see. Fantastic Four Full Circle. Natasha, I know you're excited about this one. I am too, of course. Abrams Books has announced a Fantastic Four Full Circle graphic novel written and illustrated by the legendary, and that is no exaggeration, comic creator Alex Ross. This graphic novel marks the launch of Marvel Arts, which is a new imprint, and of course the article's coming from the people at Comics Beat, so shout out to them. It's a collaboration. Marvel Arts is a collaboration between Marvel Comics and Abrams Comic Arts. Not surprisingly, Ross described the project as a dream come true for him, and here's the description. It's a rainy night in Manhattan, and not a creature is stirring except for Ben Grimm. When an intruder suddenly appears inside the Baxter building, the Fantastic Four finds themselves surrounded by a swarm of invading parasites. The Fantastic Four have no choice but to journey into the negative zone, an alien universe composed entirely of antimatter, risking not just their own lives, but the fate of the cosmos. So this is actually pretty cool. I am really excited about this.
Give it
And
to
I
me.
actually really like I like Marvel leaning into their pop art roots, which I really think is what's happening here. Like this looks like they recently released a Black Light poster book, and those are all just throwback images, but they were Black Light, Black Light ready. And so this actually kind of reminds me of that in a big way. And also it's Alex Ross.
It's Alex Ross.
Yeah,
Alex Ross.
Come on.
So great.
Ross
I only have books. The only things I own by Alex Ross that are like closest thing I've gotten so far to actually art is the books, the hardback seal, like the hardcover seal books and things like that. I had when I worked at the blacksmith shop in Burbank, California, like my boss for Christmas one year gave me the DC Alex Ross book, and I was just like, I like cried in the office. I was like, I'm so excited, and oh my god, this Alex Ross is just so wonderful. Like anytime you go to a comic convention and his art's there, like like the longest way to take around and just look at all of the pieces are just so beautiful.
Oh yeah,
So
no, we
beautiful.
had I think the last time we were at San Diego Comic Con, or the last several times we were at San Diego Comic Con, yeah, Alex Ross's booth was right across from us, and like you just get stopped in your tracks every time you see some of his artwork. You're just like, oh, that's cool. Actually, so here's a little quote from Ross. This is a Fantastic Four story I've been waiting to tell for years. And visually, it is one of the greatest artistic experiments I have attempted because he's doing a new style for this. I'm excited to share this work with everyone as it unites the two great publishing forces of Marvel and Abrams Comic Arts in a bold new collaboration. So Fantastic Four Full Circle will feature a large format in order to fully showcase the stunning artwork of Alex Ross and to mirror the 1980s Marvel graphic novel format as well. It's a full color, painted fold-out poster retelling the Fantastic Four origin story will also be included. And this is dropping August 2nd, 2022. So you got some time to pre-order, but you know where you can pre-order. Go to PREVIEWsworld.com/pullbox and just loom, just lurk until it's ready to pre-order because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and this is something you want to own. I definitely want to own this for sure. So. Ashton, what else is going on in the world of nerddom? What do you got with what's going on with Robert Kirkman? Some rumors.
Robert Kirkman's got his fingers all over everything you loved as a kid.
That doesn't sound great.
It doesn't sound great when I say it that way. It doesn't. So I'm gonna try it a different way.
Let's not clip that later.
Yeah, right.
Please do.
So Robert Kirkman's Skybound is in talks to acquire G.I. Joe and Transformers, their publishing license to take on those stories. So it's a little bit of background. IDW has been publishing those comics since the mid-2000s. So they've had them for about 20 years now. And it looks like they're, poised to kind of lose those to Skybound. Kirkman is a well-known fan of G.I. Joe and Transformers and is apparently said to have been personally involved in chasing down the rights to these things. However, he won't be involved in writing the comics. So he won't be involved in that extent. But if the deal does go through and these licenses shift to Image and Skybound, then the new books will be expected on shelves as soon as 2023.
Right,
and then
cool.
if he ever makes a TV show, if he ever needs a Baroness for the TV show,
there you go. Call her.
Already got the look.
Got the hair, got the glasses. There you go.
Yeah.
So how do you guys feel about this? Because my experience with G.I. Joe and Transformers is very much the second generation of it. Like it's the Channing Tatum version of G.I. Joe and it's the Shia LaBeouf version of Transformers, which and I had the toys growing up, but you guys kind of had this thing initially. So how are you feeling about Kirkman's hand?
You mean when it was brand new?
Yeah, I do, Natasha. Sorry about when you were born.
It's okay. Turning 42 on Sunday, I think I've come to grips with
it. No, but you know what? Technicality, G.I. Joe started in the 50s, so we're not that old.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, the real American hero was in the 80s. So yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel about this, Natasha?
I mean, I'm okay with it. Like, what are his intentions? What is this? I mean, like I love those franchises like to no end. I mean, multiple of reasons I don't have to justify my nerd card on that.
Sure.
But like I think it's fun. I am never really, I mean, depending on what somebody is going to, I'll get to the point, I swear. Depending on what someone's intentions are with some of these franchises, I never really have a problem with it in that a lot of times it's just revamping it and making it fresh and new again and gaining a new interest and a younger audience and things like that. So like if you love these franchises and it's getting a new spin and it's adapting and it's evolving, it's, you know, you're just opening opportunities for other generations to also enjoy the thing that you got to enjoy. So, you know, and as a toy collector and statue collector and things like that, it's always great for us when stuff like this happens because a lot of times they'll take some of those classic vintage images and figures and whatever and make them new and fancy and make them worth your adult money. So I don't totally have a problem with it at all.
No. Like, I mean, look, G.I. Joe Transformers, it's been at Marvel. It was at Dreamwave at one point in time. It's been at IDW, of course. I think the more interesting thing here is that if Kirkman gets this, it's going to Skybound, which means it's going to Image. Which means like, yeah, you'll be getting Transformers and G.I. Joe comics from Image. Also, I want to point out that it's a bunch of other Hasbro stuff too. So I don't know if he's necessarily in line to get everything Hasbro, but you know, but Hasbro's license, the IDW license is like up. So Hasbro could be taking My Little Pony somewhere else. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe Skybound will start putting out My Little Pony. That'll be weird, right? from the House of Walking Dead, My Little Pony, you know?
Wait, did you do like a Transformers My Little Pony crossover that like weirdly worked?
They did. Yes, they did. I have not read it, but like they sure did. IDW definitely did that. So
all right.
It's not as strange as we think it is. It's right there, right for the take. One more thing that I'm excited about. Actually, I just said I like when Marvel leans into their pop art roots, and I think this falls in that category. Hulk Grand Design. So you remember Ed Piskor did a Hulk book. Tom Scioli did a Fantastic Four Grand Design book, and now Jim Rugg is joining the fray. And all these guys, of course, are from the Cartoonist Kayfabe YouTube, right? So Marvel's returning to the Grand Design format for a new series spotlighting the Jade Giant himself. Hulk Grand Design will come from Eisner Award-winning cartoonist and Cartoonist Kayfabe co-host Jim Rugg, who will retell and reinterpret the full run of the original Incredible Hulk series from its debut in the 60s through its 90s conclusion. The first book of the two-part series, Hulk Grand Design Monster, will arrive in March and encompass the first 300 issues of the series. The second book, subtitled Madness, lands in April and will cover the rest of the series, including the many different personalities that Hulk has developed. Yeah, this is cool. I think this is really neat. And I really like the concept with these Grand Design things is to kind of take even some of the more disconnected aspects of story continuity, right? Because like, of course, Marvel stories all happen like in the same continuity, and there's like a through line that may be intentional or may not be intentional, and so they even take the unintentional bits and make it look like it's a part of like this grand scheme, this master plan to tell this large Hulk saga, right? And Jim Rugg is going to do that now, which I think is actually cool, just like Ed Piskor did with the X-Men and just like Tom Scioli did with Fantastic Four. So definitely worth checking out. And I bugged Jim Rugg about an interview, so hopefully that happens because I want to focus on that cover art because I want to get like a little behind the scenes breakdown of how he made that cover because I think that cover is really cool. And it just I'm a sucker for pop art, anything that follows that aesthetic. So this is definitely in my wheelhouse for sure. All right. How about trailers? Let's jump into a trailer real quick. This is Bolero from Image Comics. This is coming out in January. And when we come back, I'll tell you guys a little bit more about it. Check it out. All right, and that is coming early next year, so definitely get some pre-orders ready for that. I can tell you a little bit more about this book. The description I love because it's very, very punchy, but also very intriguing. It says a woman running away from a broken heart discovers a mother key into parallel universes. The rules are the key can work on any door. The mother will only let you visit 53 universes. Do not ask to speak to the mother. Never hop more than 53 times, which almost guarantees that someone is going to do it a 54th time.
Of course. And also ask for the mother because you have to.
Because you have to, right? Absolutely. So this is in shops January 19th, 2022. It's available from Image Comics. I'm getting some Hitchhiker Guide vibes from this description. So I'm actually intrigued. Yeah, right? I'm getting some Douglas. Yeah, for sure. I'm just getting some vibes from this that like kind of fall in that line. So if that's your cup of tea, if you think you want some sci-fi that's a little bit more risque, go check out Bolero from Image Comics. Available to pre-order now with Previous World Pull Box. All right, it is 32 minutes in. Oh, wait, this is Mystical Green Beanie. Uh-oh. Hulk Grand Design. This issue, that one Hulk got punched into space by Spider-Man. What? Wait, so, okay. Hold on, yeah. All right. I thought he had a picture in the chat, but he doesn't. Oh, here it is.
Okay, there we go.
There you go. Love it. Thank you, Mystical Green Beanie. What's up, Joaquin? Thanks for joining the show. Jeremy Voss says, hello, everyone. What's up, Jeremy? How's it going?
Hi, Jeremy.
It's my husband's best friend.
Oh, okay.
My husband's best friend.
And Natasha, aka Cannon Doll,
I
is
see.
like, hi.
Hey, oh hey.
I love how Natasha can be in two places at once this episode.
So
This is
good.
amazing.
Whoa.
This is great.
I have my own key.
You do. That's true. There you go.
I do.
You're jumping parallel universes. That's
Well,
what you're doing.
on Sunday I'll be the answer. So
You'll be the answer.
yeah, I'll be 42.
Okay. I see what you did. That's nice. I like that. You know what? And on your birthday, I'm going to send you a message. Be like, "Happy birthday!" The answer. There you go. I like that.
Yeah,
That's
thanks.
really good. Much
I'll be like,
appreciated.
did you remember your towel?
I did. All right, so let's try to dive into some social swamp, Ashton. You want to take the reins here and let's see if we can yell at each other and yell at the chat for a few minutes.
Not social swamp.
Not social swamp.
We've got issues.
You've got issues, yeah.
You got
We've
it.
got issues, yes, because we definitely have issues with this one. So I'll let you take it away, Ashton. Go for it.
I disagree.
Okay.
He broke Natasha. Johnny's voiceovers. They are part of what makes this show great. I have to admit.
They are.
I'm okay.
Okay, so with Spider-Man No Way Home hitting theaters this weekend, we figured we would take some time to discuss fan speculation and its purpose and how angry it makes you. So we've asked you guys if you think fan speculation helps or hurts your experience and enjoyment of a particular property. So let's see what you guys said.
Also, can I real quick just apologize for the obnoxious neon green backdrop in that image?
I was actively putting in work to read that graphic,
Yeah.
and I just
Not
didn't work
my
out. I was
best.
like, I'm just gonna say whatever. I'll get close to what I think the question is.
Not my best work. I'm like squinting looking at it, so my bad. Sorry about that, guys. It was, I did it Saturday morning on a whim. Sorry.
All right, Bob says I ignore or skip it, but see no harm in it for people who enjoy it. Aaron says I think it detracts from the suspense inherent in most things. Stefan says fan theories for me are part of the fun, whether it's me coming up with them or reading others' fan theories. One of the best parts of the fandom for me. I should probably point out for me, the most enjoyable fan theories are the theories after the story is concluded rather than while the story is still ongoing.
Yes.
Jamie says, it all depends. However, I'd say it's absolutely out of control. It just leads to disappointment because you're believing it's true and finding out it's not true. In my opinion, it should be for fun to guess on what might happen, but don't go full on with the theories to where it's true in the person's sight to where everyone else believes it. Dave said, it's like this. If you don't want to hear about it, don't listen to it. If you don't want to see it, don't watch it. It's all good. You have ways to protect yourself.
I mean, yes and no. I don't.
I mean, yeah. I guess if you
That's
throw your
debatable.
phone in a lake, you'll be okay.
We're gonna come back to this one in a second.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Casey says, both fun yet can get out of control. If a viewer becomes convinced their favorite theory is true, it would ruin enjoyment. Should it be proven wrong? I cite TLJ
The Last Jedi.
for this. Yeah, I know. I just can't. I stumbled over it.
Believe me, Ashton knows what TLJ is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all want to hear some opinions? Mason said, it can be fun. The problem comes when people get so attached to their pet theories, they can't accept a piece of media for what it is. It happened with WandaVision. Some folks wrote the whole show off because they didn't get Mephisto, Johnny Rose, or an X-Men reveal.
Mephisto!
I love that thumbnail.
I had to put that in there.
That was great. I love that, actually.
The last one.
Jeff says, speculation and fan theory are the ruination of good movies. Fans turn sour on good films because it didn't live up to their expectations. I will watch the first full trailer and that is it. Media blackout. I'll form my own opinions after watching the movie.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, hold on. We got Mystical Green. I'm sorry, we got Mystical Green Beanie trolling us. He said, TLJ is y'all's favorite movie, ain't it? You quiet over there. Be quiet.
Y'all invite Joaquin back here. I'm going to tell him how wrong he is.
So we're all right, Ashton. Lead the charge. Where are we going here?
Okay, so if the question is, do I think in general it ruins the experience, or do I think it personally ruins my experience?
Both, actually.
Okay, well, either way, I think the answer is yes. I think it does. I think that firmly.
You're right.
And I think, as a lot of these people pointed out, there's certainly a line, and it is very circumstantial, and it kind of depends on how far you're willing to go with these things. And I think part of the problem is people get so attached to the idea of dissecting things, not even the dissection itself or the theory they come up with, but the idea of maybe it's this, maybe it's this, maybe it's this, maybe it's this, maybe it's this. And you end up with this long list of possibilities that now you've built up all of these options, all of this hype, and it's impossible to reach those standards. You're never going to hit it, and you're always going to end up disappointed. And I think the other side of this is a lot of these fan theories are in some ways born out of the fact that we're currently in a culture of remakes and reboots and adaptions. So you have a roadmap as it is. When you watch a movie that's adapted from a comic book, you can crack open that comic book and say, this character showed up, this thing happened, X, Y, and Z. You can do it for a book. You can do it for a property that's being rebooted. And you're already in a landscape where you are expecting certain things because of how it played out in a different format. And it just doesn't jive. Like, you've got to be able to experience something for what it is, because when you do all of these things, you walk in with so many expectations that you're not going to walk out feeling like it's hit all of your marks. And then just on a personal level, like, it's incredibly exhausting to try and enjoy a thing and get on the internet or whatever, and you're just getting blasted with all of these opinions. Like, that kind of takes some of the fun out of it, I think.
Yeah. What about you, Natasha? Where do you stand on this?
So I agree. So it's fun to have your theories. It's fun to have little things here and there. But if Marvel has proven anything, just if speculation is talking about Spider-Man, never trust a trailer.
Yeah.
So how many times have we seen, here's the trailer, and then you watch the movie, that scene that was in the trailer was never in the movie.
Never in the movie.
Like,
Feige lies.
You know, like a lot of different things like that. And I get it. You're excited. The fandom, it's so what some of us live and breathe like almost every day. Like it's great to have that excitement, but like Ashton was saying, you build so much of it that you're going to be let down. You're going to be disappointed. And I saw that with WandaVision. Like, so I just enjoyed WandaVision. And yeah, there was some times where you could go like, oh, I think that's her. That's it. You know, and then because I know comics, because I know the things like that, but I just let it go. It was not like, oh, that's her. 100%. That's her, you know, and then held on to it. And then, I mean, yeah, it was right at the end, but like, I didn't let it steal the joy of just watching the show and enjoying the show. And so many times I've seen online where you get different fans and they, you know, will post a trailer, post something, and then someone will say their theory, then their theory, and then they almost are arguing over it. Yeah. And I'm like, you don't even know.
Right,
like you don't even know if that's what's actually going to happen, or that's who that is, or any of that. Like, you have no idea because you haven't seen the movie. Like
I'm sure the people making the film had a plan when they were putting it together.
Oh,
yeah,
man,
I'm sure. And they want to they want to have hype. They want to have people be excited about it and have those questions answered, but like wait to find the answer. Like, don't, don't dive your whole everything in theory. Like, I mean, going back to the Star Wars thing, so many people, even after watching it, was like, oh, well, I was hoping they were going to do this, or I expected them to do this, or blah, 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 blah. Like, but did you enjoy the movie? Like, did you enjoy, like, maybe X, Y, and Z didn't happen because you like thought it would manifest because you put enough energy into it, but it still, hit all these other points, and yeah, I think it's a mixed bag in the fact that like it can be great and it can be fun. Like after Marvel Wednesdays with my family, when we watch certain stuff, we're like, oh, I think this, but then like, okay, then we let it go and wait to watch the next episode, like not going, oh no, I'm right because of this and this, like, then it just gets messy. And I think that's some of the comments were definitely correct. And like, like for me personally, I'll watch one trailer, depending on the movie, one trailer, and then that's all I see about it. Like, I'm like, cool, I watched it, it's exciting. Now I'm gonna wait for the movie so I can be surprised, because that's also part of the fun. Is the surprises, is the, all the suddenly, oh my God, like I didn't know that was going to happen, or I didn't know that person was going to be in it, or, whatever. So it's, life is short. Enjoy the surprises. Yeah.
I like that. Actually, I like that a lot. What about you, Johnny Rose? Coming in, production manager, producer Johnny Rose.
This is the editorial part of the show. This topic was my suggestion because I spent a lot of time on YouTube just seeing like what videos that people were putting out there and trying to get ideas for video content, and just things will pop up saying this is a leak, this is this, like, it's like people would just post these things in order to get like hits on their YouTube page or their website or whatever, without really any care or consideration for like what it's doing to the people who want to just enjoy it. It's like, I don't even need to see any more commercials. I already want to see the film.
Right.
But I shouldn't have to go into like media lockdown because people can't like control themselves, and they want to be, it becomes like spoiler culture, and it's like they want to be the first one to break the news that supposedly Toby Maguire and Andrew Garfield are both going to be in it. Like, what? I mean, that's a great reveal. If it does happen, I have no idea, because I don't want to know that. I want to be able to have that experience in the theater with all the other people who are sitting in the seats next to me, who are just as excited to see the movie as much as I am. It's like, you can't, like, if you went into Infinity War knowing like what the snap, knowing that Thanos goes through it. I mean, if you hadn't read comics, but whatever. But if you like start spoiling that for everyone else, your enjoyment of that movie drastically deteriorates and goes down. So I don't know. And there's maybe the question should have been phrased as opposed to like leaks and spoilers being put out there as opposed to fan speculation. Fan speculation is fine, but it's gotten to such a fever pitch that it really is, for me, ruining my enjoyment of the film. It's like building it up. It's like, I already want to see it, but I'm just so tired of every other like news channel saying, oh, here's a leak of this and that.
And that's a problem in and of itself, because it takes a thing that you're super excited for, that you've been looking forward to, and it kind of almost makes you just want to get it over with.
Well, no, I'll be honest with you. After about, I mean, okay, keep in mind that we're all in a very specific space, right? We do media content, like, we work for Diamond, we, do stuff for previews and Diamond Select Toys. Like, we are very much surrounded by the stuff nonstop, right? That said, I definitely had to kind of lock down any speculation about Infinity War Endgame before it came out. Just because I'll be damned if it was going to be ruined for me. You know what I mean? I was just like, hell no, you're not ruining this for me. I've been waiting for this all my young adult, my young nerd life. Longer than that.
10 years.
I would say longer than that, because even Natasha knows this. How often do we hear that we were going to get a Marvel movie and then it never happened?
That's true.
So to get something like Endgame is just mind-boggling, right?
Kids are spoiled nowadays.
They're so spoiled. They're so spoiled.
Kids are so spoiled. You don't know how good you have it.
You don't. You don't.
Ashton loves it when I'm on here.
Oh, I do.
Absolutely.
It's the best.
Got two old biddies.
Old biddies. There you go. Right.
Very much like
one of these things is not like the other.
Oh, that way.
But also, and if I may just elaborate on that, Troy, because like me and Natasha have gone to a trade show up in New York called New York Toy Fair or Toy Fair New York. I forget which one it's called. And they always have. I mean, even us and Diamond, like we will have stuff there available to show for people who are in the industry. You know, like I'm going to order like so many units of this, whatever. That was before Infinity War when we went up there at one time, Natasha. And remember that black curtain that you went behind?
Yes.
There's a figure, wasn't it? Gwyneth Paltrow's character. Was that who it was?
It was Pepper.
Pepper.
Oh,
Pepper.
In the suit.
In her suit. Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So
and I had to be quiet the whole time. The whole time. Yeah. There's also some Star Wars stuff in there too.
Yeah.
And we had to like, it's the getting to see that kind of stuff, and you're like, I don't know. We saw cool stuff at Toy Fair.
You're right. Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I mean,
but
like,
touching on what Johnny said. Sorry.
You're a chatty person. You like to talk. You get excited about things. So I don't feel like it's a hard ask to ask people to zip it a little. Like you are able to see a super cool thing that any nerd would be excited about and keep it to yourself because you didn't want to ruin it for everybody else. So I don't know. Maybe I'm delusional, but I don't feel like it's a big ask to not get on social media and run your mouth to the fullest extent.
It's not, and there used to be a rule, honestly, or at least like an unspoken rule, at least with Marvel fans. Like I was very excited and took great pride in including myself into that group because for years stuff would come out and you get the Marvel end credits and then sometimes a bonus credits. And so many people would be hush hush, then just say, make sure you stay with the credits, you know, and like that would be it. And now it's like, just blabbermouth. Here's like,
here's a cell phone video of the end credits on YouTube.
Right? And then like Johnny had mentioned about certain news there's a news outlet that I have followed for years and is so like a fan of theirs forever. I've had to mute them on Instagram and Facebook because they legitimately like next day, like an episode will come out of something and next day we'll have it in the title what the surprise was. And like, I'm sorry, like I'm a grown adult with children. I don't always get to watch when it premieres exactly. Sometimes it's a couple of days down the way. Sometimes it's at least 5 days. Like there at least used to be a rule of, you know, maybe like if something came out on Wednesday, you wouldn't even talk about it until that Monday. And you certainly wouldn't put the spoiler in the title for clickbait. Like,
no, that is unacceptable.
It's just rude.
Yeah, can I just say that like I think that Nerdist does a really good job with that in terms of their YouTube channel because they will post stuff like same day. They'll do like a review, or at least in my experience. Okay, maybe, and Natasha's like, she's typing something. That's probably who she's talking about. She is okay. But in my experience, like I mean, I've seen like they'll put. Never mind. I'm gonna just stop. Natasha's saying spoilers galore. I don't know because when I've seen their YouTube channel, it's just like, you know, we're gonna reveal these for the Easter eggs, like but I haven't seen what you're talking about. Anyway, going back to my original argument, I blame it on Star Wars.
Well, no, so actually, the thing I was actually I kind of rambled, but like Ashton made a point earlier, and actually, it started for me. This whole thing started with me when Force Awakens was about to come out. And the reason I mentioned that, like, okay, we're surrounded by this stuff all the time. Like we had Star Wars Day at our job where they would announce all the new toys and all this other stuff. So, you know, there were certain things that we were going to get exposed to, right? But at the same time, I think personally, it wasn't just the spoilers. It was just all the other types of speculation that kind of came with it. Like, you know, it's the articles about, you know, Daisy Ridley's casting and her workout regime, or, you know, John Boyega and whether or not he's a Jedi and how many times, like, you know, he picked up a lightsaber, like, you know, or whatever, or, you know, Oscar Isaac's time on the set with Harrison Ford and how Harrison Ford hated making stuff. You know, there was so much news about it, you know what I mean? And I have to admit, by the time Force Awakens came out, I think I've echoed this to you before, Ashton. I was sick of Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, I was kind of like done with it. I was just sort of like,
I don't think I can actually enjoy this movie now. Prior to that, I've been really good about this, but I also, feel like we're definitely in the nerd industrial complex,
Yeah.
But also to Johnny's point and to Natasha's point, there is a nerd industrial complex, and I think that what we do, we made a conscious decision after WandaVision that we just weren't going to talk about, every episode of every Marvel show, every single episode of PREVIEWsworld Weekly. You know what I mean? But to Johnny's point, there are outlets out there that they don't care. They just want the clicks. And it's kind of weird to me because I'm as annoyed with them as I am with my friends who call me, who send me messages with these videos asking me questions about this stuff, and I'm like, they don't know what they're talking about. I actually had I have a friend of mine, Derek, who I've known for years, and I got to be honest, I thought he was smarter than this.
Oh no,
I really did. But this also this kind of comes into the whole speculation thing of something about Star Wars. There's this one YouTube channel that has been, look. Say what you will about Kathleen Kennedy, right? There's this one YouTube channel that has been saying that she's going to get fired any day now from Star Wars, right? Any day, right? For years, right? And it's actually more than one. Actually, it's been several. And my buddy Derek has been like every couple of months I'll talk to him about this, and he's sort of like, "Oh man, yeah, I think she's going to get fired, man. They're going to give her the boot and blah blah blah." And I'm like, I guess I don't know. Like I can't really tell you, And what happened? They renewed her contract. just a few months ago they renewed her contract, and that's what I mean. It's like it's not just the storyline speculation, it's all the other stuff too on top of it. It just makes it about everything else but the story. And Ashton knows this. I'm very much about I just want to read the damn story, guys. I just want to watch the damn story. Like that's it. And so I can always appreciate when channels just don't dive into that stuff because it's about ultimately enjoying it. You know what I mean? And there definitely is a nerd industrial complex. Like I said, we're definitely part of it, but there's layers. There's layers to this. And part of that nerd industrial complex, and I mentioned this on the show before, with the Spider-Man No Way Home thing is, these, I really think they're paid Sony bots just up and down Twitter, just making comments and posting speculation and just all sorts of stuff. And I'm just sort of like, okay, I get it. You guys, you want to generate interest, but God, there's got to be a better way than this. There has to be.
Right.
Go ahead.
Sorry, we all started talking at once.
We got issues.
We've got a lot of issues. To that point, Troy, I almost feel like that type of speculation, I personally feel like that type of speculation and that constant focus on the news and what's happening on the set and all of that is far more frustrating than spoilers, because to some extent spoilers can be avoided. And that stuff can't though. And it feels like it's happening everywhere you go. And like you said, especially on Twitter. And it's so much more frustrating because you can't put any truth to it. If it's a spoiler, then you know that thing definitely happened in the show. And you're probably pissed that you saw it early, but at least that's a fact versus all of this he said, she said.
Absolutely. And that just kind of contributes to it. What were you about to say, Johnny?
No, I was just going to say, in the interest of just trying to find out some information about the, Spider-Man No Way Home. I keep saying Far From Home, No Way Home. It's like work from home, whatever.
Spider-Man Work From Home.
Yeah. That I went to Fandango to buy my tickets, which I'm seeing on Sunday. That's the earliest I could get all my friends together. And I was like, let me look up and see who's in the movie. Click cast and info.
Oh no.
I'm like, and now I see stuff in there.
Why would you do that?
That's a good question.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. I just wanted to see what they said about the actors and stuff like that.
But also, why would Fandango have that? I can understand that. I actually don't even like when IMDb does that. But why would Fandango do that? You know what I mean?
No idea. And I even tweeted right afterwards. I'm like, come on, Fandango, you might want to pull that stuff down. And they did since pull it down. And it didn't say anything about Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire or anything like that. But there are some other names in there. I'm just like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Actually, here we definitely got people in the chat sounding off. Let's give them some shout
let's get back to the comments.
Yeah, Will of Khonshu, like shout out to that Moon Knight reference. I like to be proven wrong. Means something somewhat original or character out of left field. I mean, no one really expected much when Guardians was announced and blew everyone away. That's fair. I mean, I like to be proven wrong too. I am always happy when like something comes out and it's not what I thought it was. Mystical Green Beanie back again. Speculation is fairly normal thing. Yeah, sure. I think, especially when it comes to comics geek culture. But now the comics are mainstream. Speculation culture is more normalized. Yeah. I actually agree with that 100%. I think that even though he's talking about comics, I think that permeates everything. Like, you know what I mean? And Dave Brown defending himself from his comment earlier. That's what I meant by controlling what you expose yourself to. I know. I just messing with you.
Yeah, but I just have to like go into like a hole in the ground to keep me from spoilers.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Real Shay. I seek out all the trailers.
Shay, yeah.
Shay, okay. I seek out all the trailers, but stay away from comments discussions. Yet avoid anything that says leak. I mean, yes, I feel you on that. It's just not as easy as you would think.
No.
Yeah, so yeah, like I thought this was a fun conversation to have, or at least maybe at least for us to vent.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
since WandaVision.
Right, this will be a joke.
Yeah. You see it, you love it, just right. Like I have a friend of mine, Ross. Oh, Ross, who used to work for the OP.
Ross Thompson.
Yes, whenever he watches something epic, all he does is put the title of the show, and that's it.
Yeah, like he does it on social media. He just does like an exclamation mark or something like that. So kudos to you, Ross Thompson.
Yeah, good job. He'll be like Hawkeye! exclamation point. Then you're like, oh, this is gonna be good. Like that just lets you know, good. That's all you need. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I've actually tried. I've actually done that for I like to at least like make comments about movies on my Facebook feed.
Yeah.
And I've made it a point to just be very like non-committal about any plot points. You know what I mean? It's just like if you've seen it, you know what I mean. If you don't, you don't. You know, whatever. So, yeah, I think that's cool. Like, I mean, I understand the importance of engaging and discussing about it, but you know, a little bit of chill would be nice.
Message.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Make a group.
All right, it is. We're at 58.
We've gone over that. That's
I just realized how long we've been at this. Yikes.
Yeah.
No, you know, but I mean, we got to it kind of late. But on top of that,
that's the show.
Right. I think we can wrap up now for sure. Right. Real quick, Ashton, what is this week's? Oh man, this might open up another can of worms. What is this week's poll?
This week's poll, we asked you guys to settle another debate for us, as we are asked to do. Tell us if The Nightmare Before Christmas is a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie. I can't talk today. I'm sorry. Or both, maybe, question mark. That's up to you to decide.
All right. So we won't. Okay. Just real quick. One word answers. All right.
Both.
Both. Okay. All right, Johnny. Ashton. Both. I was gonna say it's a Thanksgiving movie. All right. Let's see.
It's not the option, Troy.
Well, 60.4% people don't say that it's both because
all right, cool.
If I had to choose just one or the other, I'd say Christmas.
I'd say Halloween.
Ooh,
it's both.
His whole focus is taking over Christmas.
But it's spooky, scary skeleton man.
But there's an equal amount of it of each holiday on screen. I think
that's true.
Yeah.
I feel like there is an equal amount of like each holiday for sure. Like,
unlike the disproportionate amount of Christmas mentions in the movie Die Hard.
Hey, listen, they would not be in that place altogether like that if it was not a holiday party.
That's next week.
We're not doing that. We've already been doing this for an hour.
I feel like I'm an argument for next week.
I feel like I'm going to be outnumbered next week. I want Natasha back on just so I have somebody that's on my side. All right. Comic shop shout out this week. What do we got?
Okay, this week's comic shop shout out goes to Greg's Comics in Mesa, Arizona, and it comes from our friend Topi. He says they have nice fans and a great atmosphere. So we'll show you some photos from inside of Greg's Comics at the end of the show during the credit roll. So you can get a sneak peek in there. If you want us to shout out your local comic book shop on the show, find us on social media, tag your shop. If they don't have a handle, just leave their name and use the hashtag #SupportYourLCS. We'll find your shop, shout them out on the show, and give them some love.
All right, cool. And I want to remind people to like, follow, and subscribe to me on at PREVIEWsworld, right? And Ashton, where can people find you?
You can find me on at Furry Comic Book Day on everything.
Right. And what about you, Natasha? Where can people come find you?
At CannonDollX at everything.
Right. Right.
Or
Across the board.
even .com, which actually, if you go to my website, it takes you right to the DST Unboxed. It takes you to some
Nice.
talking toys, some interviews with like Todd McFarlane, all of the things that all, leads back to fandom.
Nice. Real quick, there's an interview right now on PREVIEWsworld.com with Mervyn McCoy. He does a short story in the book called Noir is the New Black. Yes, Noir is the New Black. Sorry, I had a brief for a second. And he showed me some of his process art, which I thought was kind of awesome. So definitely check that out. It's really cool just because he's Jamaican born. He tells the story of a Jamaican. A real life Jamaican hero that that was actually responsible for a slave revolt against the colonials. So it's a little piece of history that you may not know about that I think is actually pretty cool. And also, Mervyn's a fantastic artist. I would be lying if I said that I have not worked with him before in some comic stuff before. So also, there's a Christopher Priest interview right now on PREVIEWsworld.com where he talks about The Unholy, which is his Vampirella Dracula comic series. Spitting out of his Vampirella run, of course, Vampirella got married. I don't know if you guys know this.
Yeah.
So Vampirella Unholy is basically the honeymoon experience, but of course it's a Vampirella comic, so God knows what direction that's going to go. But I guarantee you, Dracula's going to show. Yeah, well, risque, but also Dracula's going to show up, and there's going to be a lot of bloodletting. So definitely check that out. Also, the panel Critical Role went down last Thursday, but you can catch it on our YouTube channel right now. It is Enemy and a blah, 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 blah.
Nice,
Enemy and a yes, I had it for a second, but I lost it. Enemy and her panel come on to talk about the Critical Role Vox Machina. So definitely check that out from Dark Horse Comics. I am. I'm just
You're doing great.
I almost lost it.
It's another Natasha.
Last 2 minutes. It's another Natasha. There you go.
Yeah.
And that's it for PREVIEWsworld Weekly. I am one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
I'm your other host, Ashton Greenwood.
And I'm your guest, Cannon Doll X.
All right, cool. And we will see you guys at the Spinner Rack. Catch you next week for a special holiday episode. All right, bye.